We're live. I'm going to call this March 24, 2026 Horicon Common Council meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Forrest.
Here.
Jim.
Here.
Lisa. Here. Marie.
Here.
Bryce.
Here. With everyone, clerk, please stand and
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to act on the minutes of February 24th? So moved. Any discussion? If not, clerk, please call the roll.
Jim.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
All right, next we have public appearances, limited to 3-minute time frame per individual. Ruby.
Mine's the only name I saw on it. Well, this is the first meeting I've been to in a long time. It's nice to see all the new people. And I have a wonderful new representative in my area of the woods, Lisa Sullivan, doing a fantastic job in our neck of the woods and the town. Anyway, I think everybody's doing a good job here. I have no complaints, and I'm not here to really complain about it. I just have a question on the procedure with the council and the alderperson. Several weeks ago, I called Alderman Bryce Remy because I wanted to know why he requested the information about the former clerk. What do you call it? Clerk treasurer. And he requested information. I thought, well, those girls are busy enough, I mean, my gosh. But what's behind it? She's been gone a while already. I mean, why now? And first of all, Bryce, I really, appreciate you taking my call, but any alderman or person sitting here, you get a call. I said, what made you call? He said he got a call from Chris Jacobson's attorney. That's a big deal for them to call, to single in or zero in on a sitting alderperson. I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, I hope you were telling me the truth, because if you weren't, tell me right now. But if that was the truth, you should have said, hey, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to refer you to our mayor and our city attorney. Because Chris Jacobson's attorney told you that he wanted all this information about Kristen Jacobson, her records,
Let me just hold you up for a second, Ruby.
Yeah.
Bryce or none of us can actually have a conversation with you with a public appearance. It can only be one way towards us. So he won't be able to answer your questions right now?
Okay. But I'm just concerned what really happened. I mean, are we getting contacted by her attorney as a city? No one sitting here should have to take that upon themselves to deal with it. I would think you would refer, if I was sitting here and got a call, I'd say, hey, please call our mayor and the city attorney. Thank you very much, and hang up. And then I said, well, why did you even take the call? He said he was scared. Well, I almost fell over. It's like, I was concerned that, if this is the way our other persons are behaving, you get a call and you take it upon yourself to take care of something without going to the city, the mayor, and the rest of the group. That's not good, okay? Bryce, I don't mean to be coming down hard on you, but this is a big concern. You're running for mayor, for crying out loud. If you don't know how to take a phone call.
You have about 30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds, okay. Okay, so, and then I proceeded to tell him why the whole city was so upset with Kristen Jacobson anyway, to start with. And I don't have a lot of time, but I brought my tax bill from 2018 and a letter from the state Department of Revenue. We had Mike Bourne with us back then when all of our taxes skyrocketed because she made a big mistake. And didn't she have 2 opportunities to correct it? According to the state, I got the letter right here, and she didn't do it. She wasn't doing her job. The people wanted her relieved from office. And it took, how many years did it take to happen? So, and I don't mean to be personally attacking anybody, that's not what, but if you're not doing your job, you know, okay, enough is enough. I just wanted everybody to know what's going on. So I know you can't, no one here can talk to me about this right now, but I'm concerned. I mean, if you're getting calls at home, okay, I think you understand what I'm bringing up and why I'm bringing it up. Anybody wants to call me at home about this and talk about it, that's fine. Okay, thank you very much. Keep up the good work, and I thank you and Cody Vanderheim, the Department of Work, Public Works, the whole, everybody, the police, everybody's doing a great job. The library is getting a new person. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Anyone else while the mic's on? Okay. We're gonna move on to committee reports. We have Personnel and Finance Committee, Forest.
What meeting out?
Public Works, Jim.
Okay. Horicon Public Works and Development Committee meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. by Chairperson Bansma. Members present, Bansma, Fensky. Members absent, Schmidt. Motion by Bansma, second by Fensky to approve the February 5th, 2026 minutes. All voting aye. Motion carried. Public appearances, none. Cody Vanderheide, Director of Public Works Utilities, provided a monthly update on the DPW and the wastewater departments. Motion by Fensky, second by Bansma, to transfer existing dirt mound to Moraine Park property. All voting aye. Motion carried. Set the next meeting date for Thursday, April 2nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the DPW conference room. Motion by Bansma, second by Fensky to adjourn. All voting aye. The meeting adjourned at 7:30 p.m.
Thank you. Public Safety, Marie.
Public Safety Committee met March 10th at 6 o'clock. Members present, Fensky and Framy. Members absent, Remy. Made a motion to approve the minutes. We had a public appearance from a resident who spoke in favor of updating Chapter 223 ordinance on bicycles and play vehicles. Police Chief Birkin provided a monthly update. Emergency Management Director Biederman provided a monthly update. EMS had no update. Chief Tesh provided a monthly update. Fensky provided an overview of all the proposed changes to Chapter 223. The purpose of updating the current ordinance is to adopt rules for the use of electric bicycles, electric scooters, and other electric micromobility devices within the city of Horicon. All in attendance agreed with the proposed changes, pending review with the city of Horicon attorney. Motion by Fensky, second by Framy to repeal and recreate ordinance Chapter 223 bicycles and play vehicles as attached, pending review with the attorney for the city of Horicon. All voted aye, motion passed. We had a motion to approve a 1-year operator's license and a motion for a 2 years operator's license. Those both passed. Motion to approve a temporary Class B retailer's license for the Horicon American Legion Baseball. That passed. Next date to meet is Tuesday, April 14th at 6 p.m. And we adjourned at 6:27 p.m.
Thank you. Park and Recs, Bryce.
Park and Rec was canceled due to the Snowmageddon event.
Roger. Plan Commission, Lisa.
Planning Commission met in a regular session with Mayor Moss presiding. The meeting was called to order at 6 o'clock. All the members were present. Also present was Alex Williams from MSA and Mike Cavalier from Moraine Park. There was a member absent, was Herring. Motion by Atkinson, second by Vanderheide to act on the minutes of February 9th. Voice vote was all in favor. Motion by Harold Vanderheide, second by Westermeyer, to act on letter of intent for a land division in the town of Oak Grove. Ben and Veronica Schuten. There was an all favor vote. Motion by Biederman, second by Harold Vanderheide to act and approve the site plan review. Conditional that conditions are met for the MPTC EVOC track addition. All were in favor. Motion by Gallenbeck, second by Amundson to adjourn. All were in favor and the meeting adjourned at 6:10.
Thank you. Library report.
We're going to tag team again today. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank the city of Horicon council members. It's hard to believe that over 30 years ago, my family moved to Horicon and we raised 2 children. There's one's still local, one serving his country. And we were blessed to be here. And I thank you so much for all the support over the years that you've given me and my family. And I'm wishing the best for the library as it continues forward. And I'm going to pass the baton to Anna McCullum, daughter of Horicon. And she's ready to take on the challenge of bringing the library to its newest chapter.
So currently in our new chapter, we are in full training mode. We did hire a youth services librarian. She started at the beginning of this month and she's doing very well. So if you want to go down and say hi to her, she usually works kind of evenings, kind of mornings. So you can stop down and say hi. And then we're currently in the process of hiring a library assistant. That was to help get us back up to full-ish staff once Alex was gone in April. And then we are trying to hire a library clerk as well. So training is going to be one of the big focuses the next couple of months. The fun stuff is that National Library Week is coming up. It's the last full week of April. And so anticipating all these changes, we're not going to go super big this year, but we are going to have an open house on that Friday where people can learn about our services. And we're also going to have a book bingo on Friday. So all our prizes are going to be books and book related things like book lights and bookmarks and all that fun stuff. And then additionally with National Library Week, I will be creating and posting videos to social media highlighting our various services like programs, digital services, our library of things, and how our people of Horicon can get the best bang for their buck. Yeah.
Can we just take a moment and just give Alex a hand?
That was gonna be my mayor report, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
That's okay.
sorry.
I want to first thank everyone for the past year. I think we got a heck of a lot done and wish everybody luck who's up for election in 2 weeks, and good luck to all of you that have to work it. And in my mayor's report, I was gonna say, 3 of us up here are Horicon High School grads. There's a lot more in the crowd. And I look around, I know I'm the only one that was a high schooler, college kid when Alex was a police officer. And man, she was scary. And you know, it's so cool when you come back here and that intimidating to a high school kid, police officer has been such a noted librarian and head librarian here in Horicon. I can't imagine how many people make that transition. We are very lucky here in Horicon that, you know, you did that. And, you know, when you're gone, I do appreciate the way when you come into a room, everybody instantly acts professional or tries to be. I try. I see it with the city hall girls for sure. So, you know, thank you from the residents of Horicon for always being that professional for the city of Horicon for over 3 decades.
Well, you never worked with me when I was a police officer. I used to go down with the best of them.
Yeah, I believe that. I just know I was just that scared 18, 19, 20-year-old.
I know, he played in my backyard.
Yeah, and now here I am, almost 52, and you know, I hope
Thank
to
you
be.
for not holding it against me.
No. It's so neat being able to, you know, be here, and now I'm watching you being able to retire, and thank you. As you know, as representatives of the city, like Lisa said, thank you. Really appreciate all you've done for our city for over 30 years. It means a lot to the residents. Our library is awesome. It's going to be in very good hands going forward. So thank you again from me and from the residents of the city. Thank you. All right, moving on to the not fun stuff. Acting on vacation policy 1-004. First. So move. Any discussion on the vacation policy? It made those changes that were requested over your committee, I believe in there.
And this would have gone through the committee that went through the leader's office. Look, Yeah.
And it took a lot, yeah. And it had a lot more input from the other department heads, since then. So any questions for Forrest? I think Chrissy is watching from home. So, if there are any questions or anything, hopefully she'll send either Chris or I a message and try to answer if she can. All right, here you go. Please call the roll.
Forrest.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
All right, next we're acting on the travel and expense reimbursement policy number 1-006, Forrest.
So moved.
Second.
All right, this took in a lot of the input. I know you definitely gave some input. It kind of mirrors more like what all the other WRS or Wisconsin retirement system and public employees get throughout the state, trying to get our meal reimbursements and the other things more in line with 2026 instead of
Anyway,
2026.
coming back a few years.
Yeah, back pay on lunch. Is there any questions for Forrest on this one? Great, clerk, please go roll.
Forrest.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye. Next, acting on hiring administrative assistant for the city clerk's office, Forrest.
So she accepted them. Okay. So make a motion to approve the hiring of the administrative assistant position to be Sarah Lang.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or concerns?
You have to put the starting rate.
The ordinance for that's coming up on 16.
Forrest.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Next, we're acting on ordinance 2026-10 in your packet, ordinance establishing the wages and salaries of the city officials and employees, the municipal code of the city of Horicon. Forrest.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on 2026-10, which happens to be in front of 2026-9? Yeah, I know it's on purpose. Any questions on it? All right, not quick, please go roll.
Forrest.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
All right, next is ordinance 2026-09. This amends S455-12 in the meeting code of the city of Horicon to clarify the language. Forrest.
So moved.
Second. Any questions on that ordinance? All right, hearing none, please go with.
Forrest.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Next is resolution 2026-03, authorization purchase of 115 South Vine Street in Horicon.
Second.
Any questions on this? What we talked about in the closed session, quite a bit. All right, please call the roll.
Jim.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Next, would be act on hiring of the library director for the Horicon Library. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or concerns about the future library director for the city of Horicon? Come on, can't be laughing I'm up here.
She laughs too much.
Hearing none,
Just
please
kidding.
call the roll.
Bryce.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Welcome. Congratulations.
You're in.
We're on 20, turn the page. Act on temporary Class B retailer's license for Legion Ball. Bree,
I make a motion for the temporary Class B retailer's license for the Horicon American Legion baseball and the dates provided in the packet.
Second.
any questions? All All right, not clerk, please call the roll.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Boris.
Aye.
Next, we're looking at the 2026 Horicon Aquatic Center operation contract. Bryce,
So move.
Second.
any discussion on the operation contract? This is what you guys approved at council in October, wasn't it? Pretty close.
I don't know if Bryce or myself, just so everybody's aware, this is 1 week shorter. And we did give some raises for the kids working at the YMCA. We do see like a really, in past, like cracker in past years, that the last week is hard to find guards and we don't get a lot of patrons in the
Yeah, they all
pool.
go
So
back to college.
this seemed, in my opinion, like a good direction to go. And I did check the budget amount. We had budgeted $108,706 and this contract came in at $108,597.18. So a little bit under budget, or on budget.
So
We usually come under that anyway.
Yeah, rain days, early closures.
I like the idea of it going down a week early because how many times do we have to cancel in the last few years just because they didn't have the staff?
Yeah, it was staff and just the cooler temperature was rough, so I think this will work out good.
It's a no-brainer. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Any other questions for Bryce or Cody while we're on? Please call the roll.
Bryce,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Boris,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Oh, can I add one last thing to that? Never mind, it's on the next one, sorry.
We'll do next one. All right, acting on the 2026 Aquatic Center flyer, Bryce.
So move.
Second.
All right, go ahead.
The only update on this is for Scotty Geeson. The picture has been updated to show the slide and the new equipment. That is the big highlight.
Excellent. All right, any discussion on the flyer?
Are we still able to do, is Y still taking online payments for passes?
Yeah.
And when's that start? Do you know?
I would have known, but our meeting was canceled, so I can ask for next month and bring it back for you.
Okay.
All right. Well, any other questions or concerns or comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Bryce,
Aye.
Boris,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
All right. Next, acting on the write-off for the bank reconciliation. I have Forestone. Go up the newest one that was put on your desk, not the one in the packet. It has a sentence in there. An extra sentence.
Make motion to approve the write-off for the bank reconciliation.
Second.
All right, as you see in here, this goes back after talking with Tyler and Chrissy. This is years back. And you see on the first page there, the summary of the process, the findings, and then the recommendation and conclusion after talking with Chrissy and Tyler. It sounds like these go back all the way back to 2024. And we're not missing 800 or 823.39. We have $823.39 too much. So we have to write it off on our system. We have the opposite problem, which is probably a good problem. But they recommend it's better to write it off because it would cost more to have Tyler and his team look at it in over 2 hours than it would just write it. After the team up here is $100 an hour per person, so it makes more sense to it. All right, we got any other questions on that? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Boris,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Great, next we're moving on to the act of hiring spring and fall part-time parks employees. Looking for a motion?
So move.
Second.
We got,
Don Miller, Dale Krieger, Werner Biederman at $17 an hour.
any
They
questions?
all
for
came
Cody?
back from last year.
Same
Same
crew.
guys.
Right. We got the same crew. Any questions for Cody? Clerk, please call the roll.
Jim.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
All right, next, looking for a motion to act on the disposal of records at the police department.
So moved.
Second.
Chief,
It's just old union stuff from 1997 to 2010. It's clogging up one of our filing cabinets, so we're gonna dispose of that stuff properly.
that falls in the disposal of records timeframe, so it's not done. All right, you got a vote. Any other questions for chief?
Shred probably, burning takes a long time, so we're gonna shred them.
Sorry, I couldn't.
All right, cool, I guess, any other questions real quick? All right, clerk, please call it.
Bryce.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
26, acting on a request for the use of Riverbend Park by the Horicon Historical Society for 2026 Living History Days. Bryce?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we're open. Go ahead.
I would like to talk about this one. I did talk to Lonnie before I was gonna bring this up. I know that this is in for 2 weeks. That would be very difficult for us to mow and maintain the park. So I would request 1 week and give them the ability to go down and basically mark out where the lots are the week prior. I don't think that would affect our mowing or anything like that. And I don't believe that that's something the park would need to be rented for. I kind of think of that as something like a locate or anything else we would call in prior to tents or anything going up. That'll make sure
What
that,
is on here, when they put in the rental, then they put in the cost, if it would be for 2 weeks though, right?
I think we rented it for 3 weeks, like we paid $150.
Yeah, because I thought it was a large amount of money.
yeah, so just going back to the way that it was last year, where it'd be like a 1 week time frame. And I don't see, as long as you guys don't have a problem with it, I don't see any issue with some paint and some marker stakes. Right, we can mow around that.
On the other fee though, don't we have it where they just, like, that's our security deposit and it gets refunded based off the policy we approved last year?
Yeah, I think council says the vote on it, but yeah,
Yes.
past practices.
All right, does anyone want to, so,
Are you okay with it being staked out, Lonnie?
Yeah, we were planning on starting our tent setup then on the 25th, I think that's Saturday. So that week before would be fine. That's what we wanted for, was just be able to plot it out. It takes us about 3 days to plot it out. So that's exactly what we're looking for.
all right, does the motion need to be amended at all to include,
No, it's the coordination between DPW and
yeah, just working over.
right there.
Good enough. All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Any other comments, concerns, or questions? All right, hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bryce.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Acting on the request for amplified music in Riverbend Park by the Historical Society for 2026 Living History Days. Bryce?
I'll make a motion to approve the request for amplified music in Riverbend Park by the Horicon Historical Society for the Living History Days not to exceed 11 p.m.
Second.
All right, any comments, questions, or concerns? Clerk, please call the roll.
Bryce.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Acting on carrying and discharging of weapons in Riverbend Park as part of 2026 Living History Days. Bryce?
So moved.
Second.
Just a reminder, this is just for reenactment purposes. We're not actually going to be like chainsaw massacring people down there.
Right.
Any comments, questions for Bryce or Lonnie? All right, hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bryce.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Now we're looking at a request from the Horicon Historical Society to place a banner in Riverbend promoting 2026 Living History Days.
So moved.
Second.
Any Questions or comments?
Yeah, when is the banner going up? Going up early or just during the event?
I think it would be, I think our goal is to like the first week of April.
You don't have any concerns with that? Okay.
Any other questions for Lonnie? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Bryce,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
All right, next, we're gonna act on a request from the Horicon Historical Society of Horses at River Bend as part of 2026 Living History Days. Bryce,
So moved.
Second.
any comments, concerns, or questions to Lonnie about horses?
It has not been an issue in the past. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Bryce,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
I don't know the difference between 31 and 27 that much, but act on a request for amplifiers and a PA system in River Bend for 2026 Living History Days. Bryce,
I'll make a motion to approve the request of use of amplifiers in the PA system in River Run Park for 2026 Living History Days not to exceed 11 p.m.
Second.
any questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Bryce,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie.
Aye.
Moving on to operator licenses. 3.
I'll make a motion to approve 1-year operator license for Michelle Guterberg and Chelsea Washstock.
Second.
Any questions, chief? Nothing? All right. Clerk, please call the roll.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Marie,
Then I'll make a motion for operator license for 2 years for Jodell Kirkhoff.
Second.
any questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Marie,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Forrest,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
We're act on the financial statement for February. First,
Motion to approve the financial statement is provided in your packet for February 2026.
Second.
any questions for Forrest? Clerk, please call the roll.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Next, we're act on the bills for March. Forrest,
Motion to act on the bills for March in the amount of $1,418,039.02.
Second.
any questions on the bills? Clerk, please call the roll.
Forrest,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Bryce.
Aye.
Set next meeting date. I think the next one on the calendar is April 28th. Is that good with everyone?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, and then I need a motion to adjourn into closed session.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Jim,
Aye.
Bryce,
Aye.
Marie,
Aye.
Lisa,
Aye.
Forrest.
Aye.
Screen. Thank you, everyone.